Hey, quick post-edit Chase here. Just wanted to say the audio quality in this episode is not the best, but after Sharky, it should get much better because we kind of figured out what we were doing. Anyway, hope you forgive our horrible failure and enjoy the episode. As a kid, did you ever play superheroes? Did you ever create your own superheroes? Did you ever then take those characters and create an entire universe off the back of them? Well, we did. And over the years, that universe has actually grown into something we're truly proud of. But that's not what this podcast is about. This podcast is about reaching to the back of the fridge to talk about the first characters we ever created. The ones we made up in 5 minutes just so our friends could play make-believe with us. The ones we scribbled onto notebook paper while waiting for our kids' meals. Back then, we thought those characters were legendary. But now, well, we'll let you be the judge of that. This is the Retcon Microwave. Let's reheat some leftovers.
Hello, everybody. Just a little introduction to everybody. Me and Chase are brothers. Noah's our dad.
Hello.
And the disembodied voice that you hear coming from the walls is our sister.
Not now, though. She doesn't.
Not now. She doesn't always talk.
She does. Yeah.
But she's there. Beware. She is there.
She'll show up.
So anyway, welcome to our first and last episode. Today we're going to be talking about a character. We're going to address it to Noah because Noah's our audience, right? So, all right.
Yeah, I should specify, I have no idea what they're going to show me.
Yeah.
It could be literally anything. I have heard tidbits. All of it is insanity.
It could be a blanket with a face. It could be.
Is that a spoiler?
No, it's not.
I wish we would have created that.
I wish we did too. Now we have, though. So, copyrighted.
Well, it's going to be in the universe now.
Okay.
All right, so I want to introduce you to our first character, our first candidate here. It's a pretty blank slate, okay? A little bit of backstory on this. We had a group of friends, right? And we would play these games, right? So we'd have to make up a new character for every friend we were playing with.
Wow.
So imagine the boundless, limitless creativity you can come up with when you're just
friends.
When you're just trying to come up with a new character with new power sets for some random person. My sister, the disembodied voice in the walls, she was a certain character, and she needed an arch enemy. And so we thought...
Was a friend of y'all's an arch enemy?
No, we just made up... Okay. Like, the villains were never people.
Okay.
So the villains were never... Like, yeah, we didn't hate them. They were just... That's just who they played. It was like a big play we were putting on our back patio. So this one is called Lioness.
Her name is Lioness.
Let's just get that... Let's just let that breathe.
May I see the photo?
Yes, here's a photo.
I say photo.
Can you describe... It's a picture.
It's a drawn picture by a 7-year-old.
Can you describe what's on it?
I should say the photo is a piece of textbook paper that has been torn. Well, not even torn out. Well, yes, kind of torn. It says Lioness at the top, and in the middle of the image is.
Say it.
It's like a man in a monkey suit.
Oh, it's not a man.
It's
or a woman in a monkey suit. My bad. Because that's very much... I guess that was supposed to be a lion tail.
Oh, no.
It looks like he's wearing... God, is that supposed to be a lion mask?
It's supposed to be a lion mask.
It's supposed to be a lion mask. I have a different image of this somewhere. I couldn't find it before we started recording, but it's a picture of this character in that exact same outfit pretty much, and there's two poorly drawn lions with no anatomical features whatsoever.
It's kind of beside her.
Just kind of beside her. So... The idea behind this character was Marvel has Black Cat.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it was like our Catwoman. We were going to let's just make Catwoman.
DC had Catwoman. Marvel had Black Cat. We were like, we clearly need a cat person.
Oh, damn.
We need a cat person, guys.
If you look closely at this person, you can see facial hair.
That's not true.
Just reinforcing the fact that it was a guy.
Well,
it was not. It was a woman. I just didn't know how to draw feminine features.
But I should note that the powers page has no powers, and the origin is completely blank.
This is a blank slate character.
So literally...
Very relatable to viewers at home. Goals! There's nothing there.
Nothing there.
Yep. Very cool. If you're listening to this podcast, you have no goals. Boom! And insulted the audience.
Are you still with us?
What audience?
Please,
this is our
keep
last
us
hope, man. This is our last hope. Noah, he gave up a lucrative career for this. Chase, he's always
No, he didn't even know it yet. We
sent in a letter of resignation.
we sent in his letter of
He
resignation.
had a good thing going. You can't hear us, Noah. We're whispering. Yeah. He had a good thing
we really
going.
aren't, though.
I'm the only thing keeping the electricity bill and water bill in check. Why did you do this?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
So the original character. Let's list what we can remember about the original character. It was supposed to be, I guess, the Black Cat or the Catwoman.
It was a cat burglar.
So yeah, so it was some kind of. She was agile. She could steal things, and if I'm not mistaken, she could control lions.
Okay.
That was her whole thing, and
Okay.
she was like, "I'm gonna base my whole persona off of this power."
As you
that I
do.
have." We don't know how she got her
I'm
powers.
I was just gonna say, how applicable is it to control lions as a burglar?
Yeah, because she's in the
What
city.
are you robbing? Are you
The
robbing?
zoo.
You can only rob.
The zoo and the aquarium.
It was like, sir, Lioness is on the attack. I was like, oh, where is she? Well, the only place she can go to attack. You know?
Well, there are places in Vegas.
Well, yes, that's true.
Okay,
But
so
it's
she
like-
lives in Vegas.
She lives in Vegas.
Okay,
Okay, that's good.
That's
she
good.
lives in Vegas. There
She's
we
a
go.
washed-up criminal in Vegas.
And she just like every once in a while gets the lions to break out of their enclosure and steal stuff, and then the cops get her and they have to.
So whenever someone hits the jackpot, she will immediately make the lion break out, take all the money from that jackpot winner,
Can the lion
and run away.
Wouldn't she just make the lion maul the person that?
No. She just wants the money.
She
She's a
just
cat
wants the
burglar.
money.
She ain't a violent
This
person.
is really, I mean, this is. It occurred to me this woman is really not a cat burglar, but in a much more real sense, she is way more cat burglar than any cat burglar that has ever existed. She is the definition of the word cat burglar.
So we have a washed-up burglar in Vegas.
So let's say
She doesn't even have like a legitimate name.
We don't know how she got her powers. We don't know what her origin is. We don't know her name. We just know that she can control lions and apparently is kind of like Catwoman in the fact that she's agile.
Yeah, she's a villain.
So
Here's my question.
Yeah.
Does she control other like big cats too?
I think it would be funny if it was just
I think
lions.
she really should just control lions.
But would it even be funnier if it was lions and just one other big cat?
No,
Like it wasn't like she could control any other ones. She could just
lions
control.
and Caracal.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly that big.
But like the characters aren't as interesting, so she doesn't really use she doesn't.
She
lead
can
with that.
control lions.
Caracalus.
It'll come in clutch.
Can we talk about the name?
Lioness.
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 Yeah.
That was a lot of my characters, right?
S?
Yeah.
Like,
oh no.
If it's a girl,
Did you do it to all the female characters?
Yeah.
No.
If it's a
I
girl,
wasn't
that kinda ends
sexist.
in-
I just didn't know I was sexist. I was a 10-year-old boy. So, by the way,
part of the conversation, everyone just looked right at me, right in my eyes.
so
Why are you here?
a little bit of backstory. We are currently trapped in a vault, deep underground, and we're just for some reason we've been trapped here by like a madman. I don't know why he chose us three, but he also dropped a box of our comic books that we made when we were kids. So we're just kind of trying to. He dropped a lot of recording equipment too. Not good recording equipment, but you know we're doing that.
He's not making enough money in the villain business, so he's forcing us to make a podcast.
No, we're part of his farm. There's a whole bunch of other vaults with other
There
kids and like random pieces of paper and mics.
What
And
is he farming?
Podcasts. We're just everyone sending in a podcast, and even
I
if
was
they make
wondering
a
what that
cent-
green beam attached to your
Yeah.
head, Batman Forever style was. Because Noah has one too,
Yeah.
and they're all feeding into this interconnected web up. This is a bad joke. We need to stop this.
It's done.
It's done. All right,
So
back
let's
to
move in.
Lioness. Yes.
Now let's come up with some ideas, like just some ideas
You
to
can't
make the character
You
relevant.
can't make me. I created her. I've done enough.
All right, what are we wanting for this character? Because she's washed up in Vegas. She robs people that win the lottery. She then, rather than, I guess sometimes the hero that probably stops her gets the money back. But I like the idea that she actually gets away with the money. But rather than going to use it in a purposeful manner, she lives in Vegas, so she just goes to the casino next door and wastes it all and just can't. It's just out of money. immediately.
Like the one right next door.
Yes,
and
the
then,
one right next door.
And then the next day she robs that one and does it to the one that she robbed the previous
so
day.
It just keeps going.
So it's just kind of a weird cycle.
Yes.
It's just a weird line. I like the idea of her just being in a never-ending self-destructive cycle.
With lions.
Like, I could just imagine her waking up in a gutter with lions. Maybe she just has to pay for the food for the lions.
And the reason the casinos don't stop her is because at some point they were trying to, and then they realized she just kept coming back to the casinos in a big old circle. So every time she'd come back to the casino, she'd show up with a little more money than she took.
Yeah. And they'll be like,
and
this is okay, I guess.
The house always wins.
The house always wins. If there's one thing you learn from this podcast, kids, it's the house always wins. So, I kind of like the idea of her waking up in like an alleyway with her lions beside her, just like in a gutter. Like she just like was passed out from the night before. She fell off a building or something, and she's just like back at it again.
Wait,
like, my thing is, she doesn't probably need this money, but she probably does need it to feed her lions. Like
that's true. Lions eat a lot of meat.
I like the concept that she can control the lions, but like maybe she gets tossed out by casino guards or casino employees at the casino when she's acting up too much.
Yeah.
But the effectiveness of the lions with her is entirely as effective as her mental state. And I don't mean that she has less control over a lion. I mean, if she's like belligerent and can't think straight, then neither can the lions.
That's kind of
interesting.
I like that idea.
So if she gets tossed out, they can just as easily get tossed out with her.
Yeah. We probably should come up with like a name for her, right?
No. So I was thinking that
Sasha Brown.
No, just don't say the first thing that comes in your head.
Sasha is like the literal name I was thinking. I feel like
I don't know why. Right?
Sasha.
It feels right.
It feels so right. I was like
Sasha feels right.
Sasha Mufasa, something like that.
Yeah, that's probably
Mufasa. Why don't we just call her Mufasa? Okay, let me just explain this to the audience. She only has 2 lions.
Yeah.
She's not just has an army of lions.
She
has
has
2 lions.
Yeah, that's probably better. Yeah.
She could probably get another one from the zoo, but that's just another mouth to feed.
Yeah.
And Lord knows.
And are they male lions or are they female lions?
You know, I don't really.
Or does it alternate? Like
what do you mean?
I think they're constantly dying, and she knows one with her.
No, I meant like
she like flushing them down the toilet. She's just like one of the lions dies, and she goes into the Vegas.
She flushes it down the like comically large toilet right there, and as
Vegas
it's going down,
the Vegas comically large toilet.
Yeah, the Vegas comically large toilet. And as it's flushing down the toilet, thinking it's dead, it suddenly wakes up, and she realizes the mistake she's made.
Oh God, no!
Just like everyone with their normal billed fish.
You know, I like the idea of her just being down on her luck and just needing to get out of the gutter. Like that's she has a redemptive
arc.
She has a redemptive arc where she like learns to get up.
If Lioness is this character that's kind of down in the gutter and she's trapped in this cycle of stealing from one casino and putting it into the next. One of the other characters that
self-destructive
another
cycle.
Character that we introduce, they're going to be the ones that come and help her out of the gutter, and then they're going to go on like a journey together. Does she become a better villain that's actually a threat, or does she become an anti-hero or like...
No, she just becomes a regular person that can control lions. Like, I like the idea of her just being like a one-punch man C-list villain who's constantly depressed and just like always waking up by a dumpster, goes back to the casino, and one of the heroes just finds her and is like, "Are you okay?" And she's not really a villain. Like, she might try to sick her lions on one of them, but they're like, these heroes are way above the power level of a lion, and they're just like, this is sad. You're hungover too. Like, these lions aren't really.
Can I take you home? Do you have a ride?
Yeah, like she's that type of villain. And maybe she needs to just be put on meds. Like, maybe she just needs to go to like a hospital and see what's wrong, because like she's definitely not healthy.
So much sadder than I thought it was going to be.
I like it that way though. Like, I
know
the
you
idea.
do.
Is she like reminiscing on her prime days as a burglar villain, or is it just like she had to resort to this, and this is the fact that she was living this life is the reason she is the worst?
Maybe she's kind of like Megamind. Like, she never really did anything that bad until she just like society forced her to do it. You know?
Okay, then what is it that what is it that tipped her over the edge then?
Well, what I think would be funny is like if another villain takes her, and he's kind of semi-competent, and she just kind of ends up being in the background of a lot of stories, usually hungover, like trying to throw lions at the hero.
So she's a drunk. Let's establish that.
Yeah, so she's a drunk. And like the villains are like, I need minions. This is my minion, so and Lioness. and they're like, oh yeah, we're big and bad, and Lioness is like kind of just tossing lions.
She's kind of like a Batroc the Leaper character to me right now. Like, you know, in recent comics, I think it was Gwenpool, Batroc the Leaper was just kind of like, I fought Captain America, and I was beating the crap out of him, yes, and Gwenpool's like, no, you're just a really lame, C-list character, and he becomes kind of like a mentor to her. Like, I like the idea of her being a really chill, down-to-earth person with a drinking problem and the ability to control lions. And I cannot say that with a straight face. And maybe one other cat, like tan tabbies. She can only control lions and tan tabby cats.
But it's just never come up before.
And it just never comes up before. Like,
there'll be a situation where she's trapped and like they're in a vault or something, and there just so happens to be tan tabbies around, and they're like, oh, by the way, I can also do this. And like she controls tan tabbies, and the tan tabbies like unlock the cage or something.
She flings them at the wall.
Yeah.
And each one she flings makes a slightly bigger dent into the wall.
I mean, like, literally, like, lions, she can control their actions, but specifically, like, tan tabby cats, she can just fling them.
She controls their mass.
She can bend them, like, she can levitate them around.
Yeah,
like
she can levitate them around, or she can, like, toss them at, like, levels excess of, like, 100 kilometers per hour.
Oh, God.
Are they okay?
Why are you using...
No, they're not.
Oh, God.
Okay, number one, why are you using kilometers? We're American, for God's sake. I don't understand the metric system. I don't understand the metric system.
I don't know. Whatever.
I'm gonna cut that part out.
But I like the concept that it's just like, it's a horrible gift that she has.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, she discovered it once a long time ago. And she always knows she has it, but she hasn't used it since she found out.
How did she discover it?
Where
also,
can you discover it?
Well, maybe she just found one day she had a cat and it was levitating. It's like, oh, look what I can do. And then she spun around too quickly in her excitement and out the window.
What is wrong with you?
The cat was not only dead, but it also took down the neighbor's oak tree, which crashed in their house, killing Grandpa.
That's why she drinks.
I know exactly who I want to play this character.
Okay.
Live action.
Hold it up. I want to know who, too.
I bet you already do, but I don't know.
Maybe I do? I don't think so. Alright, well... She's also got this tail on her costume. She's also got claws. Like, every single one of our creations has claws.
The drawing has just, like, despite being called Lioness, she has these 3 giant raptor claws rather than an actual lion paw. Do you want to make it a lion paw normally? Or do you want to have her have lion claws for some reason?
Actually, I do like the idea of her, like, having, like, just paw mittens that she can't really carry stuff with. She's just got these really big foam paws, like paws.
What's their names from the My Hero?
The Wild Wild Pussycat.
Yeah. Like those big paws.
Yeah, like just like these giant like paws, and she can't really pick stuff up. Like she's desperately trying to grab the money and coins from the ground. She really she can't manage it.
This is such a sad first.
I
episode.
love this.
I think she should have a little bit of like legitimate strength, not a lot.
You know what?
Not
yeah,
a lot, but she should be a little stronger than
yeah,
that.
She should.
Well, granted,
I mean, stronger than a human. Like
she can punt tabby cats at hundreds of miles an hour.
No, but I mean, she has this giant foam paw. If she hits a normal human, that dude should go a little ways.
Yeah,
at least 3 feet.
Like it should be able to knock someone sizably larger than her, I think. But against like y'all have a bunch of characters coming up against someone like way more power level, it is still nothing.
Yeah,
but. Like, against a normal human being, it is like, whoa, I did not expect to get launched back 10 feet by this giant paw, you know?
One of the superheroes we create can go up against her.
Yeah.
And then be like it's like the first villain they face, and they're like, whoa, that was stronger than I thought. Maybe this would be tougher than I think. And then it's not.
You know, I
it's
like...
a very sad character.
I do like it. And one thing I kind of add to it, I think would be great, is if she's just like 5'3" or something. Like,
no!
I like the idea of her just being tiny. Like, she's tiny. She's walking around with 2 giant lions, which we need to figure out the names of.
Elise can play her.
Yes, that's a good person. But
oh my gosh.
we're talking about, we have to like think of actors and actresses.
That's true.
But like,
Elise, would you like to start your acting career?
I imagine a woman in her like early 30s, maybe late 20s ish, who as a kid journey with her family to Africa. They're driving on a safari. Everyone's taking pictures. Until a lion just starts booking it towards them, and they're like, "What's that over there?" And it just like didn't bite her. It just whacks her. It like just whacks her.
What did you think you were here for?
Yeah, it jumps.
It's clearly a big cat.
Like just pushes her off the machine, but secretly caught in the lion's paw is some radioactive isotope, or like the lion just drank something radioactive.
So it's trying to maul her.
So it does that, and then she wakes up in the hospital. And now she has
7 foot, but she was trampled down.
Yeah. So now she has the ability to control lions.
I kind of like the idea that she's not in contact with her family anymore, but it's only because she used to be 7 feet until she was trampled down to 5'2".
We have to make it like real.
Okay, I'm sorry, but we can focus on the real later. I want to have fun with this.
Yeah, I want to have fun with this.
But.
Like, I don't like... Okay, one thing I don't like is I don't like the fact that, like, her family took a trip to Africa. I feel like that's so, like... Like, I kind of like the idea of it being in a more casual setting. Like, she's in a supermarket shopping for groceries, and the local lion has escaped. Like, she's on a safari in Africa. That's cool. But also, can you just imagine? She's like... Honey, what kind of cabbage would you like for school tomorrow? Oh, I don't know. I just
boom! Smash into the can.
That's a weird snarl, but it's just the lion. The lion pins down her mother, and then it goes after her, and she's just like, I have the ability to fling tabby cats at hundreds of miles an hour.
That's become her main ability.
Well, I don't even like it like that. I just kind of like the idea she was born with it.
I don't know what would be a good origin for this kind of power. It just seems like the something that she's had it.
Yeah, I just like the idea she was born with it. She just like formed, like she's just like, you know what, Mom, can you make me a lion costume? She's like, why, honey? Well, because I can control lions and fling tabby cats at hundreds of miles an hour. It's fine. She's a great character. She's really complex.
What did we say her name was? Sasha Brown? 7-year-old Sasha Brown gets a cat as a pet for good grades. It's a tabby cat.
What type of cat?
What type of cat? So, she really loves this cat. In fact, she's so obsessed with this cat, she develops an obsession with all sorts of feline creatures. I like the concept of you saying she asked her mom for a cat costume. She ends up getting a lion costume. Gets obsessed with it. Takes it everywhere she goes. At some point, she goes to the zoo. Brings her tan tabby cat with her.
She noticed
all is okay.
Sasha noticed her cat's skull was more malleable.
While in the exhibit of feline cats, of large feline cats, she's loving all of them. She's showing her tan tabby cat, which shall not be named. So you just don't.
I'm gonna name him. You can't stop me.
Fred.
It's Noah. No, his name is Noah.
His name's Noah. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So she brings Noah and shows him all these cats, and she brings her finally to the greatest lion in the exhibit. It's the main lion. It's the main king of the jungle right there.
Matthew Broderick.
What?
Matthew Broderick. Yeah.
Matthew Broderick, king of the jungle.
Definitely has never ran over anyone.
Oh no.
Don't look it up. Or do.
She is ecstatic at this point. She is at the peak of her life right now. At 7 years old. How very unfortunate. But she's wearing her cat costume, her lion costume. She's got Matthew Broderick right in front of her. She's holding Noah.
Of Godzilla 1998 fame.
And in her extreme excitement, suddenly Noah floats up from her hands.
No. No.
She is so utterly excited. And she keeps getting more excited as Noah keeps floating and floating and floating.
The cat starts spinning and spinning.
The Interstellar theme starts playing. And then suddenly...
Well...
Cut to 20 years later.
She's in a gutter.
She's in
a ditch. She's been hit by a car.
She's in a ditch. She wakes up.
With two lions.
One of which is Matthew Broderick.
Ooh. I don't know that sentence is framed the way you wanted it to be framed, Chief.
The Matthew Broderick lion from earlier. Fine.
She woke up with Matthew Broderick and another lion.
She woke up with 2 lions. She starts her day.
So she just like made this ability out of nothing just because she likes cats.
Yes, I can do that.
I feel like this is what every horse girl goes through in their lives, and they just kind of keep it a secret. I swear, there must be so many deaths a year because of horse girls' powers manifesting. I imagine like I said before, 5'3". You know what? Let's make it 5'2". Like just a woman. And I've said this already 3 times. She's in her early 20s. Life's just screwed her over. You know, like she's not really having a great time. And there are 2 lions constantly at her side in Vegas. She probably freed them from one of those hotels that have lions in them. That's a real thing. You can look them up. What are their names?
I don't know.
I don't want to do We can do Matthew. We'll do that as a reference to Matthew Broderick.
We'll do her lions. Matthew and
Beyonce.
Yeah, okay.
You know what?
I can see that.
I'm okay with that.
They care about her, but she can control them and like make them do her will.
Or maybe just talk to them.
Maybe she works at a convenience store.
The wall would like to speak.
You know, you guys describe her as like. Whenever you said she was like early 20s, I was really in mid 40s right now.
I agree.
She's so
I agree.
washed
I
up.
know you were talking about your own. We were talking about versions first.
Oh.
But I was thinking kind of older too. It's
Yeah,
kind
at
of
least like mid 30s.
yeah. I was thinking
Like that.
yeah.
I don't know. I kind of like her as just this like young woman that's just like.
To me, I don't know. It's almost kind of like a Peter B. Parker kind of scenario, rather than the
Okay.
Think
But imagine Peter B. Parker if he was 22.
Yeah, but like the reason Peter B. Parker is the way he is
because he's so old.
Is because he's old.
I guess the main point of it is that she's just like just going through life, you know. She's going through the motions. She's never really had an opportunity to shine. Anything she does has to involve lions for some reason. She's clearly had a great marketing team, but yeah, I mean, I don't really have too much to say about it that hasn't already been said. I like the idea, like the foam paws. I can just like that's what her costume is a felt onesie.
It should have multiple. Like she has fixed this tail 1,000 times.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like it should be clean
the
with
whole
some
costume.
tears, but like some sewn up tears also to show that she doesn't just let it go to like let it fall apart. Yeah. She has like taken time to sew it all together.
Yeah, but not her life. Imagine if she's just like this villain that people hire. Like here's another angle at it.
Oh yeah, she could be hired.
Like what if she's a villain for hire and she's actually kind of good at it?
Oh.
Like at whatever she does, maybe she's just like a C-list villain.
I like that idea.
Like
I like that thrown.
But she's not like amazing. Like she's not like the type of villain that like say Dr. Doom would hire. Yeah. She's like the type of villain that like
a mob boss would hire her because
or
she's
even just some guy in the neighborhood that just like I want to go into a life of crime. He hires her and she's like, okay, I'll do it, and then she just grabs her lions and goes to the bank.
And I don't feel like she's like she's not like day to day like I hate everything. She's like walking in. She has like a pep. She's kind of like peppy, and she's like, "What's up?" And it's just like you look into her backstory, you're like, "That's kind of sad." And she's like, "Yeah, don't think about that though."
Kind of,
yeah. She says, "It's fine," and tries to pop off the cork from the wine bottle by her big old hand.
She bites it with her big lion teeth. That she probably
She's still wearing the costume from when she was 7 years old.
Or she holds it out and the lion bites the cord off.
It's just.
Has it grown with her, or is it partially torn? Like it's just.
Well, she's not She-Hulk, so I'm pretty sure it's. I say she's.
Well, wait, she's 5'2". She hasn't grown since she was.
No, she hasn't grown. Maybe she has.
Part of her trauma. She doesn't grow. I feel like this is a good place to end it.
You know, I don't.
We're gonna end it here.
You know, we're trapped in this vault.
Aisha waiting. Oh, Aisha's waiting on me.
Dad, we don't understand your references.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's right.
Okay.
Thank you, listeners, for tuning in for this. Honestly, kind of a this is just a good downer, character. Just really downer of an episode.
Next week, who do you want to talk about, Chase?
So I made a character called Sharky, and we can talk about him.
Okay, we'll do Sharky.
And I know I realized we
actually have a comic with Sharky in it, so we could read that.
Yeah, and I have multiple books, and I have lots to tell about Sharky. And in the books, there are little villains that I made, villains of the week. We could take villains from the Sharky books, and
you actually. Oh my God! I just realized I know what you're talking about. So. He made, we used to make a bunch of different comic lines, and I actually have a lot of them, but this is one of the early ones where like, you were still misspelling every other word, like, and like the E was backwards and stuff. Like, this was an old comic book.
Yeah. So next week I'll tell you guys about Sharky.
Yeah.
We'll read the books. We'll read a couple of those books, and then we'll try to put a new spin on him. See what could he be up to.
Okay.
Well, everyone, thank you for joining, and if you've managed to make it this far,
congratulations.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Because you must be positively bored.
Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you later, and hopefully one day we'll see you in your house.
Why would you?
That's a proper exit.
Why is that the proper exit?
It's just.
Thank you for tuning in.
I just want them to have a
we'll see you next week.
This is Chase. That's Caden. This is Kendall. My name is Noah.
Thank you for tuning in.
Oh God! It's time to leave.
Thank you so much for listening. This has been the Retcon Microwave. If you'd like to contact us, you can reach us at theretconmicrowave@gmail.com. If you'd like to support the show, tell a friend. And if you'd like to know more about the characters we're creating, you can check out the website in the description. I mean, unless I haven't created it yet, but, well, soon enough. It'll be there. Okay, bye.